You already know what it is. It's your brother, Virgil Berry, aka Stats with the Facts, man. And we here, man. Tap in and walk with us, man. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page.
Hey, Real Talk Podcast.
Yeah. What up? It's your brother, Virgil Berry, aka Stats with the Facts. Y'all know y'all tapped in and tuned in to another episode of Real Talk Podcast. Pre-recorded situation, of course. First things first. All praises be to the Most High God, Yeshua, Hamashiach. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, and of course, share it on your social engineering. My Lord. Prayers over our brethren and sisters in the very demonic city of Chicago, Illinois. This past Labor Day weekend, 50 plus shootings, 9 bodies. Considering what's going on in Chicago right now with the illegal immigration situation, the criminal and crime situation, Trump talking about sending the National Guard out there, maybe even the Army. I keep telling y'all, man, we living in crazy times right now, right? And what's going on in D.C., due to the crime, due to the illegal immigration situation, they already got basically martial law going on out there. Now they're going to Chicago, right? And this is going to perpetuate throughout all major cities in America. I'm telling y'all what's coming. H.R. 1955, the Violent Radicalization and Homegrown Terrorist Prevention Act, Homegrown Terrorism Prevention Act. Violent radicalization, ideologically based violence, homegrown terrorism. Listen, y'all, what's going on in Chicago right now is just absolutely insane, right? 54 shootings, 9 bodies, and this is all out of the FBA community. This is our black brethren and sisters, right? To my knowledge, none of these shootings were related to the illegal immigration situation. None of the bodies that end up dropping was anything a result of the illegal immigration situation. This is just us acting crazy, right? Now, shout out to my brother Red Supreme TV1. Listen here, man. If we can't hold ourselves accountable, we ain't got no rights to, well, I ain't gonna say we ain't got no rights, but we ain't got no place speaking on anything else. Of course, there's so-called W supremacy. Of course, right? We got the illegal immigration situation going on, right? Especially in Chicago, right? But how are we ever, of course, with Brandon Johnson, we got Coon City in Chicago and other cities across the country. New Orleans, LA, New York, right? You know, and of course, there's the infamous tethers, right? Who, when they get shown to be on some disrespectful type time, we handle that. But man, when it comes to our own, if we can't hold our own accountable, we can't sit up here and put the microscope on us as a people, as a so-called community, then we lost, man. 50 plus shootings, 9 bodies in a weekend, not in a month, not in a year, a whole entire weekend. Listen, y'all, violent radicalization, right? H.R. 1955 is in full effect, man. And I want y'all to understand that as this whole situation with the illegal immigration perpetuates, and they're adding on to the crime, not to mention we are contributing what we contribute to the crime, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And we're going to be basically begging for H.R. 1955 protocols to be implemented very, very thoroughly, very severely. And I always tell y'all, when y'all go read that legislation, H.R. 1955, the Violent Radicalization and Homegrown Terrorism Prevention Act of 2007. When y'all go read that legislation and you go to the text and you go to the findings, the U.S. government plans to eradicate ideologically based violence, violent radicalization, and homegrown terrorism. They want to eradicate it. I want y'all to understand what that word means in relation to what the U.S. government wants to do through and with this legislation. They plan to eradicate these things. Eradicate, get rid of, do away with, annihilate. Right? This is what they obliterate. These are the type of words that are synonymous with eradicate. And I want y'all to understand how serious this is for my brethren and my sister in Chicago, Illinois. Y'all say that y'all don't want the National Guard to be deployed, right? But look at the crime. If us as an FBA community aren't going to fix the situation ourselves, or even in fact, when those of us speak out against this stuff and we call ourselves out on our very negative, very violent behavior that we have the potential to display and inflict, especially upon each other, right? Then the government's left with no other choice, right? They gotta send the National Guard in, the Army in. You gotta understand, with these illegal immigrants in most of our cities, this creates the environment for the federal government to intervene. I want y'all to understand that, man. And they have the full-fledged constitutional right to do so. Right? But see, the thing is, with Posse Comitatus, now we being thrown in there. Now, let me tell y'all something with Posse Comitatus, man. If y'all go look that up. Posse Comitatus is that law that was created in order to prevent the federal government the federal government from using the military to police us in our cities, but on some exceptions. Right? Posse Comitatus is invoked, and with 9/11 and the U.S. Patriot Act, Posse Comitatus been gone, right? Because during the George Floyd riots, we saw firsthand the military policing us in our cities. And now we're seeing it with this illegal immigration situation in cities like D.C., Chicago, L.A., and others across the country. You can best believe if crime gets so crazy, the military will be deployed. Now listen to these terms, deployed. That lets you know we are under a military occupation. So Chicago, Illinois, man, if y'all ain't gonna get it together up there, the U.S. government is going to have to. And this is the whole reason why all these illegals have been allowed to come in here, to create this very environment so that 1955, HR 1955 protocols can now be legally implemented. And now we got the military policing us in our streets, on our streets, in our cities, because they have become so violent that the police can't handle them. At the same time, we have been tricked in through the Democratic Party to defunding the police. And Brandon Johnson, listen here, Brandon Johnson, bootlicking Brandon Johnson, buck broken Brandon Johnson. He's setting the precedent for 1955, HR 1955, to be implemented in Chicago by alluding to, if Trump sends the National Guard in, he's going to have the Chicago Police Department not stand down. So what, y'all going to bang it out with the U.S. military? Is that what Brandon Johnson is saying? Is Brandon Johnson, mayor of Chicago, Illinois, saying if Trump sends in the military, he's going to call for the Chicago Police Department to fight them? J.B. Pritzker, governor of Illinois, is he saying that if the U.S. military is deployed in Chicago, is he saying that he's going to refuse? Because, you know, the governor is the guy who makes the call on if the National Guard is to be used in the event of a state emergency. But in the event of a nationwide emergency, the president is therefore the commander-in-chief, and if he decides that Chicago has become so violent due to the crime by mostly us FBAs, coupled with the crime of the illegal immigration, that's cause for federal intervention, and which means the military will be deployed and can be deployed lawfully and legally. So before y'all get all up in arms, man, y'all gotta understand what y'all is basically saying when y'all saying, if y'all do, that y'all stand in solidarity with Brandon Johnson, y'all gonna support him. Are you gonna take up arms against the U.S. military? Because let me tell you something, man, they prepared. And their plans are to eradicate ideologically based violence, violent radicalization, and homegrown terrorism. And believe you me, if you use, threaten to use, plan to use force or violence in America, you are considered to be a person who is guilty of spreading ideologically based violence, violent radicalization, and you are therefore deemed a homegrown terrorist. And that it doesn't differentiate or separate between people who are in local state government office positions. Brandon Johnson, as the mayor, if you use, plan to use, or threaten to use force or violence against any U.S. government administration or any laws or any that matter, you will be considered a homegrown terrorist. Brandon Johnson is basically spreading ideologically based violence, and he's violently radicalizing the people of Chicago, Illinois, and J.B. Pritzker is doing the same through the state. I want y'all to understand that right now, J.B. Pritzker, governor of Illinois, Brandon Johnson, mayor of Chicago, they are considered homegrown terrorists. I want y'all to think about that. I want y'all to really think about that. Once again, prayers over all my brothers and sisters in Chicago, Illinois, the most demonic city in our country. Believe you me. And let's pray that the Most High God, Yeshua Mashiach, cover and protect everybody in Chicago and the state of Illinois. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, share your social engineering.